I want to bring in a very special guest. He is Dieter Zetsche. He's the chairman and CEO of Daimler. The German automaker blew away estimates this morning after its profit jumped 28-fold last quarter, also raised their profit estimate for the full year. A lot of that thanks to the gains in sales that they've seen in China. And Dieter, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to segue from this conversation that I've just been having with Mike and Sarah here about the dollar. And for your company, your global company, what does it mean if the dollar continues to fall?
Sure.
Can you hear me, Dieter?
Well, certainly, of course, we have a relatively high dollar exposure, which translates directly into an impact on our profits. On the other hand, we do believe that a strong currency in your home market helps you to stay active, to practice every day, and to look for all your efficiencies. In the long run, you're rather a stronger company under these challenging conditions than when you get tailwind by the currency.
Right, tailwinds by the currency. Are you reassessing where you're manufacturing your cars in relation to what we've seen with the currencies?
Well, we certainly can't do that in the short term. These are structural considerations for the long term. That's the reason why we decided to produce our C-Class in the US, for instance, in the future, which will be the case with the next generation, and why, of course, we have to build up production capacity in China. But that's not something which would act on a monthly basis according to the fluctuation of the exchange rates.
Sure, of course. Dieter, okay, let me ask you about the outlook for 2011. Some are questioning. You had a great 2010, but what about 2011 when the comparisons get more difficult?
Well, we do believe that the overall environment will stay somewhat stable. Growth will probably slow down a little bit, but we don't see a double dip. In this environment, we are not giving a guidance today, but we do believe that we will be sustainable in our profit development, that we have developed a lot of momentum which will carry us into and through the next year. And on that basis, I'm optimistic on the outlook for next year.
Okay, but for your Mercedes unit, do you expect that momentum, it's grown about 10%, do you expect that momentum to increase into next year?
Well, we have said already before that within next year we have a number of very important product model changeovers, which of course are limiting your capacity in these respective segments. That's one reason why we will not be able to maintain the same growth pattern for next year. But I do see a positive development on our sales side for Mercedes cars 2011 versus 2010 as well.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, and apologies for the delay there in our transmission. But that is Daimler CEO Dieter Zetsche talking about the outlook for his car maker. And